In tonight's show, I'll be talking with John James Harris, a man who has formally declared himself to be a Freeman of England within common law, which has apparently opened up very many intriguing possibilities for him and for everyone watching.
Yes, definitely a world of illusion, without doubt. A world that is very much one thing that we believe it to be, but actually operates in a completely different way. But when you look at them laws in a different way, you see that they've developed a law to protect you from something that they say exists, when the real actual fact of the matter is they've developed a law to protect themselves from you when you find out what really did happen. And then what you teach people to do is to use knowledge to control knowledge. Now, the world is abound with knowledge, but there's no wisdom. And if you use wisdom to control knowledge, your wisdom will separate the knowledge from the lies. It will separate the truth from the lies and allow you to keep it. But you've got to have the recognition of that yourself. It's not good me saying to you, this is the truth. You've got to realise it's the truth in yourself.
So which of those alternate theories should one believe?
That's the point. It's locked away. You're using lies and knowledge. Because all you're concerned about is the theories, which the theories are what happens. Forget what happens, it's why it happens, and who did it, and for what reason. That's all you need to worry about. And the realisation within you will tell you that it was done for a specific reason. What happened occurred afterwards. Classic, it's all theatre, it's illusion. But the prestige is, when you look at the law, it's a complete and utter draconian lockdown on every freedom you were given when you were born. That's why, when you talked about the Charter of Liberties, you talk about a document, a Charter of Liberties. It's a grant. They're granting you something. They're giving you something. It's giving you something you already possess, that no man on this earth has a right to take away. Freedom's not about liberties. Liberties is a grant. Rights are a grant. There's a classic example in the latest Black's Law Dictionary 8, and they define a person. And they say a natural person. How can you define a word with a word? How can you define that word with the same word? You can't. It's a mockery. If you go in Black's Law Dictionary 3, you'll see that person is a fiction. In law, you're a human being, but in the legal world, commerce, you're a person. That's the difference. In common law is upon the human being. In fleet, commerce, admiralty, whatever you want to call it, UCC code, whatever, then your person is a fiction. But the jurisdiction, what they need to do is to get you to act, for you to represent that fiction.
What does this actually mean?
A lot.
Okay,
basically, you get locked into slavery. But it starts as a bill. Well, a bill is a money-making order. It's a negotiable instrument. When you look at any statute law that's on the statute books, it's enacted by statutory instruments, another negotiable instrument. A statutory instrument defined is a created, written, legal contract. So it's not law, it's a contract. It's something they can apply as fictitious upon fictitious persons.
So they make us into
fictitious persons. And then they can apply these statutes on it, because the statutory law does not apply to human beings, because it's not law until it's consented to by the governed. Statute is law that only becomes the force of law if it's consented to by the governed. So with 3,000...
By the governed?
By the governed, you. Yeah, you're the governed.
So they pass a law, a statute?
No, they make a contract. It's not law. It's a contract.
Okay.
They get this contract, and they'll go to the bankers, and they'll say to the bankers, the private sector, they'll say, we've got this statute, and we reckon it's worth £6 billion.
Well, for instance, it might be something like, we're going to put up speed cameras everywhere.
Ideal example, OK? We've got this statute, we reckon it could generate a revenue of about £6 billion. That's fine, OK?
Per annum.
Per annum. Will you lend us that on the strength of that, but we'll give you everything in excess to cover the principal sum plus the interest. So what they do is they sell it. They sell it to the bankers for the money.
In advance of passing the law?
Not passing the law.
Statute.
It's not a law, it's a statute. The police are... The human being is a policeman or woman who is there to uphold the law, serve and protect, never deny or delay right or justice to any individual who lives in this country, no matter where they're from. Then you've got the police officer. Now, the police officer is a fiction. A police officer is a corporate employee who's enforcing statutes to make sure the bankers get their money back. In common law, which is based upon natural law, there is no offence for speeding cameras. There is no offence. I haven't committed a crime.
Well, it's not likely to have been in the Magna Carta, is it?
No. Common law extends right up to this day. It works on three very basic principles: injury, harm or loss. There's that. It's crime. A crime is in within common law. If you do a common law, if you do something wrong against common law, then you should have your collar felt. Absolutely. But you're not going to go to a court of justice. You're going to go to a corporate court.
So this is what, sorry, injury, harm...
Injury, harm or loss.
Or
so
loss.
you should never injure someone, never harm someone or cause them loss.
Or their property, presumably.
No, but it covers every eventuality.
Just those three words?
Just those three
injury,
words.
harm and loss?
Right, yeah,
Human
basically,
being,
a lady had her 4 children taken away, and about 2 or 3 days later, the social services brought one of the children back. And when the mother questioned the social services, said, well, the reason we brought the child back is because we don't own it. You never registered it at birth.
Well, they actually said this. I did actually see that on your website, actually. Now, let's get on to the birth certificate thing, because that's on my list of things to ask you about.
Right, well, birth certificate basically is the creation of the fiction, the creation of an entity that
This is the difference between a person and a human being. So
but
this happens...
Yeah.
When you register the child?
Yeah, but you're told you've got to register the child. You're told you must. Now, in legalese terms, in the Law Society terms, must is synonymous with the word may. So you've been given a choice. Because at the end of the day, it's a statute. If you don't register after 42 days, they reckon you get £1,000, or whatever they reckon, right? The truth of it is that you'll get about an £8 fine. A year later, the Attorney General will actually write you a letter to say, would you like to register your child? They can't make you do it, OK?
See, I didn't know that. I mean, I have 2 children,
you've done it,
and I registered them.
Yeah, I did it and all. Can you imagine how I feel now? It says your name, which is not a signature, it's wrote, and it says the declaration of. Now, a declaration is in common law. The only person who can make a declaration, which is a declaration or affidavit within common law, is one of the most powerful documents within law, because it's a sworn oath of your truth.
OK.
Yeah?
So you swear that this is your child or whatever?
No. You just saying it's a declaration from a human being because he has to act on behalf of the fictionist father, which his name is in capitals, to inform the child is there so they can make another fiction out of it. That's how it works. So basically what it is,
So when we register our children...
You put them in slavery. You just don't know.
They become a bonded slave?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Exactly.
It's an interesting question, isn't it? Because you wouldn't expect them to be incorporated as businesses.
Why have you got corporate courts? Every court is registered as a trading name of the Ministry of Justice.
So it's just all about money?
Every police force is registered as a profit-making corporation.
OK.
The members of the Houses of Parliament are registered as a profit-making corporation, which means you are electing new directors. That's all you're electing, new directors. So nothing will ever change, because politics is theatre. It's an outer government controlled by an inner, by the advocates.
Right.
The judiciary. So in reality, if there's nothing to back this of any value, this is an IOU. It's a promise to pay. That's why it says, I promise. So what happens is, you just say, I'm promising to pay you at some time.
So this is because it's fiat currency?
Yeah, because we're in bankruptcy. We're in bankruptcy, so we're in receivership. But we're in Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which still allows us to trade. What we're constantly trying to do is pay back this bankruptcy that can never be done. Because the bankers, the private sector have put so much... The principal and the interest has got to such a rate now that the income tax that you pay, the rates that you pay, the council tax you pay, cannot cover this anymore. So now they have to bring in statutes to sell to the bankers and enforce upon the people.
More taxes, hidden taxes, all these hidden taxes.
Stealth taxes, but it's not tax. It's basically fraud.
You're saying the debt can never be serviced.
It can't
There's
be
nothing to back the currency. The currency has nothing behind it. Because Gordon Brown, for instance, sold all our gold at the bottom of the market, didn't he?
Yeah, but...
Where can I find out more info from the guy on the sofa? Things need to change. Well, the answer is go to www.tpuc, which stands for the People's United Collective.org. So www.tpuc.org.